Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Scottsburg Board of Public Works and Safety. Today is May the 24th, 2021, in the year of our Lord. We'll call our meeting to order. We'll begin by the clerk treasurer's roll call.
Mayor Amy.
Here.
Karen Gracious. Here. Tom Lewis.
Here. Thank you, Ms. Hardy. Next for the approval of the minutes of the May 10th meeting. Do I have a motion to accept those as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Karen Gracious makes the motion. Tom Lewis seconds. Questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you. The next thing we have is our department heads. Let's go to Ms. Bixler.
Yes, all I have for you guys.
Mr. Binkley's here, so I have to make sure I get Binkley,
Hey,
Bixler, Binkley.
You were on it tonight. All I have for you guys was some sewer adjustments, and then
Okay.
there's a stack of pool adjustments, so I just made you a cover sheet so you didn't have to sign 40 times.
Thank you.
So it looks a little bit different this week.
So, behold, the pools cometh.
Yes, the weather has warmed up and everybody's filling their pools up.
Wow, how awesome. Anything else?
Nope, that's all I have for you.
You have anything for us, Bink?
Just a little update on the fiber.
Okay.
The guys worked pretty hard on a long pole 288, which is our largest fiber. And we did get that pulled in back in Karen's neighborhood. I promised her for about 3 meetings we'd be there, but it is pulled in now. Yes, ma'am?
I've got a question for you. In the back on Cedar Street,
Yes.
yeah, Cedar Street, there is a green wire, and it's sticking out of the ground about that far.
Green?
And I think it's green.
Okay.
Anyway, it's a wire, it's colored
Yeah.
wire, it's sticking out of the ground. And I didn't know if you'd marked something there, because I was back there mowing today, and I just mowed around it, I didn't touch it.
I do know that Spectrum has had an issue on Frame Street with a bad signal. They were in there working. I'll have to go up there and check on it.
Yeah, check it out, because it's by the pole that has the red ball on it,
Okay.
okay?
We'll take a look at it. But, yeah, the guys were, I mean, it was a long pull with heavy wires. It's one that we've been really wanting to get under our belt. Past that, the asphalt plant, we're still waiting on them to dig in the conduit for us and where they want to place their electrical vault. Transformer's not in, but that's still not a problem on our end. But other than that, replacing those, I know the department's been busy.
Thank you so very much. Anybody else on the department heads?
On behalf of Carmen for payroll, she has asked me to present vacation sellback, and this is for an employee who is leaving employment with us, and they have 6 days. So we are asking for approval for a vacation sellback for the 6 days that they have left upon their resignation termination date on June 4th. And so we would like to get approval for that.
Okay.
And if so, then I just need that signed.
I'll make a motion.
Motion to approve the sellback. Tom Lewis, second.
I'll second.
Karen Gracious, seconds. Questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
We need to sign this, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else?
Not at this time.
Okay, is there any old business to talk about? Hearing none, we'll go to new business. First thing we have is a resolution 2021-R-3 to sell real estate for IC code 36-1-11-4, 2 acres at Industrial Park. Is there a motion to go forward and sell that property?
What is this first one?
So this is to initiate the process. There'll be a notice that is published, and we will then be accepting bids in accordance with the average of the 2 appraisals, which came back at the average of $32,850. This is 2 acres behind the electric department across from multi-zone.
Wow, okay, we talked about that before.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion.
by Tom Lewis, there's a second.
I'll second.
Karen Burgess, seconds. Questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you. Next thing is Resolution 2021-R-4 to enter into a cash rent farm lease agreement. This property is located, just south of the electric property. That is a zone agricultural. This is where the Liberty Green biomass was going to go away. This is where there's 45 acres, probably not all usable. There's some lying ground. There was a water tank right on the interstate out there. That's the property. Hasn't been farmed in quite a while. The farmer said he's going to probably put as much into each acre as what he's going to pay rent for, which is $100 an acre. And so he would like to go forward with that. So there's a farm lease agreement in your packet, and that agreement is for basically $100 an acre, which is right at 40 acres and $4,000. So we would entertain a motion to go forward and enter into a farm lease agreement with Mr. Morse.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Now, before we vote on this, I will tell you this, that we want you to know that this agreement, I would like to maintain this for him for a few years, but with the understanding, should that property sell, or the city need to do that, this agreement would be no more. So, you know,
So is this a year by year thing?
it's kind of a year by year, but, you know,
But
yeah.
won't that all be in the contract or the lease? This is just to give us approval to do that.
Sorry.
But that, because we haven't seen the lease yet, correct?
It's been emailed to myself and the mayor for his review.
Right, so it would more likely be on the next meeting, is that correct, Mayor?
Yeah, but I'm just giving you a heads up.
Okay.
While we're entering into a lease, that lease will also be such that if somebody wanted to buy it, or we wanted to develop it, it can be done. So, okay. So, there's been a motion, a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
So moved. The next thing is the drainage approval for Weston Woods. And Ms. Campbell wrote this today. I hope this email finds you prior to tonight's meeting. I plan to attend on behalf of the applicants Israel and Allison Snyder of Weston Woods. However, my son was unexpectedly sent home sick from school, and I will not be watching after him for the remainder of the day. The packet you received is a comprehensive overview of the project, a multi-housing development that will support 48 units. I supplied the engineering firm, Hart's Engineering and Surveying, with a copy of the Scott County Drainage Ordinance, and they were able to produce a drainage mitigation plan to reflect the criteria listed in the ordinance. You'll find they intend to include a detention basin as part of their stormwater mitigation plan. This basin is designed to handle a 100-year flood. The firm also did an excellent job in designing a landscape plan that will successfully mitigate drainage. The generous plan includes 23 deciduous trees, 11 ornamental trees, 4 evergreen trees, and over 50 shrubs. An erosion control plan was also prepared to include a slit fencing and rock. Again, she says, I'm apologizing for not being there simply evening, and we need an approval by the Board of Works for this drainage plan. The applicant will then attend utility forum on Wednesday, the 26th, this coming week. Beyond that, we will await the release of the construction design release from the state of Indiana prior to issuing permits. So at this point, are there any questions about going forward with that? Okay, then, Eric, is there then a motion to approve, for the approval of the Weston Woods LLC drainage plan?
I'll make the motion.
Tom makes the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Karen seconds that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So moved. Thank you, Ms. King. Next thing is the asset transfer vehicles. And Jessica, Jan, do you want to explain that? It's that little,
Jessica has the list.
So I was asked by Carmen to present for her in the clerk treasurer's office. They're working on fixed assets, and we have 3 vehicles that we would like to do transfer from one department to the other on this asset list. The first asset is asset 140. It's a 2000 Ford F-150, and this would be transferred from the mayor's office to the electric department, as the electric department is the one that has been using it for over the last year. The second one is asset 847. This is a 2006 Chevy Colorado, and that would be transferred from the mayor's office to the parks department, as they are the ones that have been in possession and using it. And then the other one would be asset 784, which is a 2009 Chevy HHR, and that would be transferred from the electric department to the mayor's office, as that is the vehicle that code enforcement uses.
What we're trying to do here is to make sure we identify the assets that the people own. And we want to make sure those assets are in the proper categories that they belong. And so basically, going forward to the next guy in this seat, here's the assets. Here's the assets that people own. So, you know, and again, there will be additions and subtractions as assets come and go. So, and we have assets that we're able to liquidate from the people for more capital, then we can do that as well, make those decisions. So, do we need a motion for that or a vote on that at all?
Yes.
Okay, so then there's a motion to go forward and transfer these assets to the respective departments as explained by
I'll
Ms.
make a
Jones.
motion.
Karen Richards makes a motion. Is there a second? Motion and second by Tom Lewis. Any questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous, thank you. Next, we have the claims. Yes, sir.
Yes, I would just be open for a motion to approve the claims as presented. The mayor has reviewed those, and
I will make that motion, we approve the claims.
Tom Lewis makes the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Karen Richards seconds. Is there any questions about any of the claims at all? I want you to know, as I like you, I go through all of these as well as the utility claims, and Ms. Hardy can tell you there are questions that come up at times, and she always has the answer. She's the answer center. And, you know, so.
She has
Okay, hearing no other objections, we'll have a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Aye too, so unanimous. Thank you so much. What announcements do we have? Ms. Hardy, you're up first. For announcements?
I don't think I have any announcements.
No announcements?
No,
Okay.
no, other than, I guess I let this board know, we made our first, the developer has made the first draw on our sewer plant. So, about 1.33 million and some change. So we made our first payout. They're really doing a nice job. They had a meeting today, a construction meeting, like the developer, the construction company, the engineer, everybody was here. And I think it's being coordinated very nicely.
This is a very professional company. They've been doing this since the 50s. And I've met the owner of the company, and we have a wonderful engineering company, Midwest Engineering, who is taking the lead on this. And it's just been amazing the job that they are doing. Extremely professional. You're all welcome to go out there. You can go into their construction. They bring in 2 modular homes, as it were, and they put them together, and they have the whole one wall is just boards with deadlines, and they are right on top of this. We end up having to put geo-piers in where our reactors are, and just to let you know, I mean, we did drillings, here was fine and here was fine, but as we go to put the geo-piers in, we found in the middle, so we end up having to elevate our reactors 1 foot. So we're gonna raise them up a foot. This will handle everything else like that. So, but everything's just going great. They're right on time on all the schedules. So and you go out there and look, and these guys are just flat getting it. Through the summer, you'll see these guys probably working all night long. I mean, they are really going after it.
They did say the last weekend in June,
Yeah.
that's when they would be working at night, pouring the concrete. Yeah.
They expect, wasn't it 2 months to have all these reactors? This is a tremendous amount of concrete.
I'm not sure.
I think it was 2 months to be able to put all the rebar in before they start pouring, and a tremendous amount of concrete.
The engineers seemed shocked with the amount of concrete that they would be pouring today, like when it's mentioned.
So is the geopiers anticipated?
The geopiers, what was anticipated was the subsoil study was not good. And so how to resolve that, the resolution was, do we put about, I think it was something like 10 foot of rock or do we put geopiers in? We opted for geopiers. And, so.
So that was found early and then.
That was
it's
found
not a change
Right.
in the design
Right.
at this point.
The only change has been that in the middle, when we started
Right.
putting the geopiers in, we found,
Right.
a little bit of a hoopy. So we've had to make arrangements to take the whole reactor up a foot, which,
That affects some of the piping and stuff too.
no, we checked all that. So so what this meeting was about today, how the piping is all there. And the question was the pumping capacity, because our lift station is now 3 feet lower because that's gonna help take in more. We have 30 inches coming into this plant now. And so with an extra 3 feet depth, and then we're gonna raise it another foot, that's an extra 4 feet. So we're gonna be going up 44 feet. And, and we've got we have a 35 horsepower pump, but we have 2 of them. But in there, we're putting 3. We have one pump that's redundant. So the idea was that with 2 pumps, we could possibly go from a 7 million gallon per day operation to 6.7. We could possibly lose 300,000. So we're actually contacting the pump manufacturer is can we utilize the 3rd pump should it come to that to maintain that 7 million gallon that we have a range of 7 million. Right now, starting off, we don't think there'll be any problem of maintaining 7 million gallon during a rain event because the pumps are new, because the pipes are all going to be smooth, so there's not going to be a lot of friction retarding that back. But with aging, how will it go? So we feel that the other thing is to increase the horsepower of the pump and get more velocity. But in doing that, now we have to increase the wire size, the breaker size. So there are a lot of factors. And now we have redundancy. We have more capacity than we need in those pumps. So it's a 9,000 per pump, so it's 27,000 more. Plus then we get up to the electrical, it's easily 40,000 more. So at this point, we feel it's flight pumps that are all variable speed pumps. So, I felt very comfortable with it. The engineers all felt comfortable with it. But you're an engineer, so I need you to feel comfortable with it as well.
Not a pump engineer.
Yeah. So, but anyways, we felt that we can give everybody the plant that we need here for now and for the future growth. This is, we're in a plant now with 1.35 million. Right now, we're having with no rain event, it's about 700,000 gallons we're getting a day. So we're building a plant that takes 2.75 million. So, but rain events, we need that. What other announcements do we have?
I've got 3
Counselor?
tax deeds that we have received back from the county. To rewind the clock here a little bit, at the annual tax sale, the county commissioners received deeds to 3 properties, or received certificates to 3 properties within the city limits. That's 175 Park, 180 Madison Street, and 870 West Owen. The commissioners assigned those certificates to us. We went through the notice process, and we have now received from the court tax deeds. The final step in the process before we can advertise these for sale is to get a quiet title. Under underwriting rules, we are not allowed to issue title insurance when there's a tax deed within 10 years of change in the title chain. So I request permission to proceed with quiet titles on these 3 properties.
So a motion then to go forward with quiet titles on those 3 properties?
What is a quiet title?
Quiet title is, again, basically giving the same thing that they do through the tax sale process, but actually through the court of law. We're giving all the owners, any lien holders, notice of the action, that we're completely terminating any interest that they have in the property, which is essentially what a tax deed does, but the statute to get a tax deed set aside is pretty flexible. So tax deeds can get it set aside. That's why underwriters do not allow us to issue title insurance. Because if Karen came in, oh, I didn't get my tax bill, here was my right address, Jay had my wrong address, courts have set those aside. And if you were that tax deed holder, you are out of luck. So quiet title is not, can't be set aside that way. So it's more of a final end to the tax deed process.
Good. Well, I'll make the motion.
Thomas makes a motion to go forward with quiet title. Is there a second?
Second.
Karen Griffin seconds. Questions, comments, concerns? Good question. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous? Thank you.
I'll give you those, I've got copies of the originals. Okay.
What else, sir?
I have nothing else.
Okay. Ms. Jones?
I have nothing.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, hearing nothing, I guess then we will have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
So adjourn. Thank you very much. Thank you.